This is for all you multi-talented, multitasking, multi-everything people out there. Take it away.
Find your glory, write your story, fearless feet will carry you. Time you own it, take your moment, be a fire burning through. Hustling from night until morning, grinding it out, it won't be long. Feel your power, it's your hour, you inspire, you are strong.
Enjoy your Zoa. No applause? You're all fired.
Now that you've reached the stage in your life where quality television is important, Nubian TV is a black network that speaks to your lifestyle. Nubian TV is the world's first digital network devoted to the upscale and political lifestyles of black people. Nubian TV's programming includes politics, travel, fashion, food, automotive, arts and culture, civil rights, music, and more. Watch now on Amazon Fire TV, Roku, or watch globally at nubiantv.net. Nubian TV, it's what you want to watch.
Come with me if you want to live a more delicious life.
Oh, maybe we should get in the van.
In this world, we don't get to control much. The past, male pattern baldness.
What geese?
Got one right now. The urge to puff that bubble wrap. But there is one thing we do get to choose every single day: what we eat. Welcome to the Sonic Department of Research and Deliciousment. We have everything you want, didn't know you wanted, and some things you didn't know were possible. Because we believe if you're not having fun, you're not living free. So come on, let's live a little.
Hey, good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Money! Are you ready? They are ready.
Covering the biggest events in the country right now.
There's a lot going on here.
It's always a good time. That's what the show's about.
That's good.
Really good. Very good.
Coming in hot, Jimmy, coming in hot.
It's far from elementary.
Good morning, America.
I'm not going to try to strut like Michael or anything.
I have known George a long, long time.
Have you ever gotten him to dance?
Look at that face.
You don't just see it, you feel it.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'll be there.
I am here and so happy.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'm in.
That tells you something when Snoop Dogg's in. Michael, George, Lara, Ginger.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Well, hello to you, and you. By the way, y'all go subscribe to my queen right there, Nikki News of Narcissism. She is a great content creator. Y'all, it is the 28th day of the Diddy trial. Of course, as you guys know, on that Wednesday, court ended early because the juror had vertigo. And then, of course, on Friday, it was an abbreviated session because there was a juror that needed to go to a graduation. So here we are, everybody. Higher is waiting, low is available, but either way, we are live on tour. Let me turn down this music here. Yes, indeed, and take down this iconic intro there. You see that virtual tour background? Yes, you do. You hear that virtual tour music? Yes, you do, rather. By the way, if you want to know what's going on with this particular, let me take down the banner real quick, child, because I know y'all gonna have questions, okay? If you're wondering what this is, go back to the show this morning. Okay, go back to the show this morning that had Oklahoma City Thunder, J.K. Rowling, Kiana Jackson, Politics, Keke Palmer, BET, B. Simone, and Mr. Beast, and talked about Juneteenth in Arkansas. Watch the beginning of the show for this, because let me tell you, if I was the prosecution on YouTube, this was the nuke that said all lati dati, everybody trying to run for the bunker. But motherfuckers, this bazooka hit all of them. Anyway, with that being said, let me get this comment back up here, and also this banner as well. You see that virtual tour background? Yes, you do. You hear that virtual tour music? Yes, you do. And then there is me. Hey, everybody. Welcome in. Glad to have you here for another edition of Braylon's Virtual Tour Live. Let's get to the getting and doing what we do, because we do have a lot to talk about. We're getting close to the verdict of our time with Sean Diddy Combs. So here we go, everybody. From NBCnews.com, Sean Diddy Combs trial recap. Prosecution expected to rest its case tomorrow. The trial could begin closing arguments later this week. What to know about the trial? The prosecution is set to rest its case tomorrow after 29 days of testimony. Combs' defense team said it plans to rest its case without calling any witnesses, but will submit some evidence. It appears that instead of witnesses, the defense will stipulate several issues. Okay, child. Combs faces 5 criminal counts, 1 count racketeering, 1 count racketeering conspiracy, 2 counts of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and 2 counts transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs has ferociously denied the allegations against him. This live briefing may include graphic descriptions of sexual violence. For resources on sexual assault, call the National Sexual Assault Telephone Line. Sign up for the Diddy on Trial newsletter for key developments and analysis. And of course, listen to the Dateline Nightly podcast. All right, here we go, everybody. Let's get to the getting and doing what we do. Closing arguments should take about 4 hours each. Oh, wow. My Lord Jesus. Defense lawyer Garrigo said it is expected that each side, the prosecution and the defense, will take about 4 hours to make its closing arguments to jurors. So basically, an 8-hour day. Those final words could be spoken on Thursday, with jurors getting their first chance to deliberate on Friday. So wait a minute. So basically, with no witnesses, right? So this Thursday will be closing arguments for the defense and the prosecution, and then Friday we'll start deliberation. Now, of course, that doesn't mean we'll get a verdict that day, right? Because the judge wants it done by July 4th. But then again, stranger things have happened. Okay, so that is that there. Defense plans to rest without calling any witnesses. Combs' defense team said it plans to rest this case without calling any witnesses, but will submit some evidence. Attorney Marcafello said before jurors entered court this afternoon, it appears instead of witnesses, the defense will stipulate several issues. Cerciello, a Homeland Security investigation special agent, will continue on the stand tomorrow before the prosecution rests its case. A charging conference on Wednesday and summations on Thursday will follow that. So wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that this defense team that has been acting a fucking damn fool, right? questioning people about their sexual escapades, questioning a woman about a purse rather than caring about her trauma and lati-dati and everybody. You mean to tell me that the lead attorney decided that there should be no witnesses at all? At all? At all. And you know the clip that I'm about to play, right? You've been watching our channel for a while. You know the clip that I'm about to play. The rest of you, you'll see it here in a minute. But I'm just flabbergasted right now. I really am, because I'm just like, y'all have all shit to say to lati-dati everybody in the words that you talk with your girl. And this is the move y'all make? Y'all don't want to have no witnesses at all. Or maybe those witnesses know more than y'all as the defense team, and they know good to damn well if they got on that stand and face the prosecution, that it will be a signed, sealed, delivered, and it will be the prosecution's case to win. It will be their case to win. Signed, sealed, delivered, it's theirs, right? So, and this is the defense team that Diddy got. I just want them all to know that they will never, ever, 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 ever have careers after this. Like, nobody's going to ever use these guys again. No one. No one. No one. And I hope that the 4th of July barbecues, I hope that these are the nephews molly-wop mentally and otherwise on every fucking lawyer on that defense team. Yeah, I said it. I don't advocate for violence, but damn it, I do advocate for justice. If you happen to get violence, it's your own fucking fault. Just like Bart and Lisa, I'ma just windmill and hit the wind. If you get hit, it's your own fault. And I'ma do the same thing. And if you get hit, it's your own fault. That clip is iconic. Let's go. Oh my God. Two more times. Roll it. One more time. Oh my God, like, bro. Okay, hang on. It's saying that y'all weren't able to hear the audio. Hang on, give me a moment. Give me a moment, because I'm just like, that should be a meme. That really should be a meme. I think one bottle of baby oil goes a long way. If you get sent that meme, that means they telling you some bullshit. My God. Okay, here we go. Because they said that you guys couldn't hear it. So here we go.
I can't imagine it's thousands. I mean, and I'm not really sure what the baby oil has to do with anything.
They're essentially saying it's a lubricant for an orgy.
I guess. I don't know what you need 1,000. One bottle of baby oil goes a long way. I don't know what you need 1,000 for. Can't imagine it's thousands. I mean, you know, and I'm not really sure what the baby oil has to do with anything.
They're essentially saying it's a lubricant for an orgy.
I guess. I don't know what you need 1,000. One bottle of baby oil goes a long way. I don't know what you need 1,000 for. Can't imagine it's thousands. I mean, you know, and I'm not really sure what the baby oil has to do with anything.
They're essentially saying it's a lubricant for an orgy.
I guess. I don't know what you need 1,000. One bottle of baby oil goes a long way. I don't know what you need 1,000 for.
Wait one moment. How many bottles? Because I mean, he did say one bottle of baby oil goes a long way, right? I just want to just see what they. Oh, look at this right here. Here's a tweet from Inner City Press. Let's look at this right here. Overall, how many baby oils? How much bottles of baby oil did you find? 200. 200. So the government found 200 bottles of baby oil, but you say one bottle of baby oil goes a long way, and you ain't bringing up no witnesses, sir. You saying one bottle of baby oil goes a long way? And hey, Coach James Hodge, good to see you, good sir. Was like me this morning with this receipt where Content Creator 1 has a subscriber count of 6,690 subscribers. Content Creator 2 has a subscriber count of 7,620 subscribers. Content Creator 1 has a total view count of 173,365 total views versus Content Creator 2 total view count is 932,147 total views. The grand total, rather, a difference of 930 subscribers, a difference of 758,782 total views. I'm going to say that grand total 2 more times. A grand total, a difference of 930 subscribers, and a difference of 758,782 total views. One more time for the one more time. Grand total, a difference of 930 subscribers and a difference of 758,782 total views. I do believe 7,620 subscribers is more than 6,690 subscribers. I do believe 7,620 subscribers is way more than 6,690 subscribers. I do believe one more time that 7,620 subscribers is way more than 6,690 subscribers. But yet, you ain't gonna bring up no witnesses though. But the government found over 200. The government found 200 bottles of baby oil, and how that evidence was a nuke is just like how this is a nuke, sir. You a dumbass, and your defense team is dumbasses too. Okay, child. So it is what it is. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if you let it fly, it must apply. Shout out to the 3 people that were here, 1 person here. Now listen, you saw the thumbnail, you know my voice, so damn it, you know why you're here. Okay? Listen, if you're looking for safe, comfortable, and easy, like Sunday morning type energy, move along somewhere else. We have our foot on the gas here. Hold on to the bar, okay? We got some nitros in our car. Let me listen. Let me show you our car in case y'all do not know the car we have over here. Listen, this is our car, okay? Go pretty fast over here. Listen, if you can't handle it, just move on. It's okay. It's okay. Listen, get you a smart car. They get you where you need to go. By the way, shout out to everybody who got a smart car. And by the way, they have a smart 4x4 car. That's amazing. That should be in the United States. But that's neither here nor there. Let's roll on, y'all. All right, here we go. Jury is dismissed for the day and set to convene tomorrow at 9 a.m. Jane asked for a freak off text messages show. In December 2021, Jane reached out to a sex worker, Gabriel, and appeared to initiate a freak off according to a text message chain. Before, however, Jane asked the sex worker to take a PCR test, harkening back to an era where America was still fighting to control the COVID pandemic. So I'm guessing this PCR test was for COVID, I guess. Yep, rapid test for COVID. That's what it says. Okay. More explicit video shown to jurors. The defense showed jurors explicit video footage of Jane having sex in November of 2021. The video was only shown to jurors, the judge, and lawyers as it was shielded from the public's eyes. It wasn't immediately clear what was happening. It wasn't immediately clear what was in the footage, but the defense likely hopes to show Jane as a willing participant. So here's the thing, right? Sure, Jane was a willing participant, but also too, we heard in Jane's testimony that if she did not do the freak offs, just like Cassie, if she didn't do the freak offs, just like a lot of people in the testimony from the prosecution, if they didn't do the defense, if they didn't do the act, rather, that it affected their home life, it affected their paycheck, it affected how they moved. Sean Diddy Combs did not like Cassie flirting with him or her or anybody. He got pissed off when she flirted with a waitress at a restaurant. She got pissed off when she was dating Kid Cudi. He got pissed off when she was trying to talk to Michael B. Jordan. So basically, this motherfucker is like, if I can't have you, nobody can. It's been said throughout testimony. It has. So I'm to a friend of mine. He said, bro, do you not feel like society always is trying to take the black man down? And I said to him, if we look at what Martin Luther King Jr. said on his I Have a Dream speech, that I don't want to be judged for the color of my skin by the content of my character, guess what? All these motherfuckers, were they black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Blasian, Italian, whatever the hell, these are the actions of that person. Because guess what? There are plenty of other black people that ain't doing this shit. So what do you want me to do? That was just like Jonathan Majors. I remember some waste of life that should have been swallowed by a fucking mother came in the chat and said, I don't know why you going up against Jonathan Majors. He's a black man. If you missed my commentary at the top of the trial, I said innocent until proven guilty. But once the verdict was read, what the fuck did you want me to do? So we don't know what the verdict's going to be now. In the court of public opinion, he's guilty as fuck. But in the court of law, we got to let this thing play out. But whether it's a guilty or not guilty verdict, his life is forever changed. But if it is a guilty verdict, guess what? Diddy, his family, his friends, that piece of shit fuck of a producer that's been outside handling the free Diddy t-shirts, when that guilty verdict is read, they won't be able to do shit. To me, to Mims, to Queen Sheba, to anybody that's covered this shit, it's public. You gotta have a lot of money for everybody. Like, what the fuck? Child, let's roll on. Jane said in 2021 text that she wanted to see her favorite person. In November 2021 text, Combs' then girlfriend identified in court as Jane told the music mogul that she couldn't wait to hook up with my favorite person. Combs then asked Jane for specifics of what she wanted to do with him, and she responded in graphic sexual detail. The defense hopes to show that Combs' girlfriends were willing participants and not trafficking victims. Well, I mean, he did use transportation to get these escorts to his freak offs, right? So that was already proven. Just saying. And trafficking is, let's do it. Because this defense team is dumb as fuck. They are just so dumb as fuck. I sincerely don't know how they have careers. I don't get it. And you know what? This is off the government website, okay? Right here. From Homeland Security. right here. What is human trafficking? Human trafficking involves the force, fraud, or coercion to obtain some type of labor or commercial sex act. Didn't Diddy go on cowboysforangels.com and Backpage? I think he did, because didn't Cassie tell us in her testimony that Diddy said, hire men and women? I do believe that that's the case, because we also know that Diddy paid for a sex worker's trip, and that card was under multiple accounts controlled by his company, Bad Boy Records. But far be it from me to give a fucking damn opinion. But the defense team is the smart ones here. Let's roll on. Every year, millions of men, women, and children are trafficked worldwide, including right here in the United States. It can happen in any community, and victims can be any age, race, gender, or nationality. Traffickers might use the following methods to lure victims into trafficking situations: violence, manipulation, false promises of well-paying jobs, and romantic relationships. Oh my Lord Jesus! How can we go back to violence? Yeah, because there was a Molotov cocktail in Kid Cudi's car and trying to blow up his car. Okay, so that's violence, right? Manipulation, 10-album deal, but can only do one of them, right? Okay. False promises of well-paying jobs. False promises of well-paying jobs. Well, if we really think about that, we can think about from the fact of, the simple fact of Capricorn Clark, getting paid off by Jimmy Iovine, right? Because she only made $50,000 a year, while Brendan Paul made $75,000 up to $100,000. So false promises of well-paying jobs. Oh, you know what? A better example of that. What's that piece of shit bastard's name that should have been swallowed by his fucking mother, Donda? What's the fucker's name? What's the fucker's name? Oh, Kanye West. He promised. See, God don't like ugly. He certainly don't like pretty, especially pretty people that think they're actually pretty, but really they're an arrogant piece of fucking shit. Back to the Kanye West. Let me go to it. Oh yeah, Lauren Prescotta. He promised Lauren Prescotta $4 million and did not pay shit. So that's false promises of well-paying jobs and romantic relationships. Diddy was in how many romantic relationships? Ding, 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 ding. You dumb fucks. But y'all ain't gonna bring up no witnesses though. But yes, this is y'all fucking leader though. Okay, this is y'all piece of shit fucking leader who said this, and I quote. Play it. I'm done. Like, really? What are we doing here?
It's thousands. I mean, and I'm not really sure what the baby oil has to do with anything.
They're essentially saying it's a lubricant for an orgy.
I guess. I don't know what you need 1,000. One bottle of baby oil goes a long way. I don't know what you need 1,000 for. I mean,
my God, my Lord Jesus. Language barrier, fear of the traffickers and or fear of law enforcement frequently keep victims from seeking help, making human trafficking a hidden crime. Traffickers look for people who are easy targets for a variety of reasons, including psychological, emotional vulnerability, check. Emotional hardship, check. Lack of social safety net, check. Natural disasters. Yeah. I mean, for example, Diddy has a home in Miami and in Cali, and we all know that Cali had the wildfires and Miami had, the hurricane. So yeah, the political instability, potentially, because apparently 47 and Diddy hanged out so many times, right? But it's just like, really, like, even from the government website. So if this got entered into court from Homeland Security, the defense can be like, nope, he didn't do none of that. Really? So if I was the prosecution, I'll be like, okay, here's the definition, everybody. Here's the definition right here. So I want to hear from the jury. This is not going to be entered into evidence. I just want everybody to have a mental recollection of what's happened here. So when it comes to violence, did he do? Yes. How many jurors we got for that? Okay. Did he do manipulation? Okay. Did he do false promises of well-paying jobs? Okay. Yes. Did he have romantic relationships? Oh my Lord, y'all sure you don't want to bring nobody up? Like, what the fuck? Moving on. Federal agent returns to the witness stand. Cerciello, a Homeland Security Investigation Special Agent, returns to the witness stand. Cross-examination by Laura Terry Garagos. Oh, this is the dumb bitch that asked Jane about a bag and didn't give a fuck about a woman going through DV and sexual abuse. That's the dumb bitch that's cross-examining Cerciello. Cerciello spent most of the morning as conduit for prosecutors to show text messages sent by and to Combs, filling in the details of the defendant's work and love life. Oh, wait a minute. Work and love life. Oh my God. Let's go back to that definition. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. That says romantic relationships. I swear to God. Y'all. Oh my God. Oh my God, did I miss my calling as a lawyer or what? Because I'm confused here. Like, what the hell? I'm a little confused here. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, let's roll on. Oh, and then it also says too, false promises of well-paying jobs. What did this say? Filling in the details of the defendant's work and love life. Oh my wow, bro. Sis. Fang. Court breaks for lunch. Court has taken a break until 1:45 p.m. for lunch. Jane told Combs that she is not a porn star to be or to have sex with strangers. Around the same time of Cassie Ventura's 2023 lawsuit against Combs, music mogul's then girlfriend Jane texted him that she is not a porn star to be or to have sex with strangers. In a series of text messages, Jane said it'd been 3 years of having to strangers, telling him that sex is sacred to her and she did not want to be intimate on his command anymore. When Combs responded that sex isn't necessary for the next meeting, Jane wrote back, you make it clear exactly what you want. Jane said she was mentally and physically drained of it all, according to the text messages. She also told him she's not going to have sex with strangers to fulfill your fantasies. That was very consistent throughout the prosecution's case, rather. Combs wanted Edouin soup and Apple TV delivered. In a voicemail to his chief of staff, Christina Corkman, Combs wanted someone to bring him his Apple TV system, whole milk lattes, coconut wild, 7 bottles of baby oil. 7? 7, you say? 7? Mark, he said 7 bottles of baby oil. What do you have to say about this, sir? I just want to know. I just want to know. What he said 7 bottles of baby oil. No, he said 7, you dumb piece of white shit. He said 7. Okay, go off, King. Go off, King. Tell me that I'm wrong. Go ahead.
It's thousands. I mean, and I'm not really sure what the baby oil has to do with anything.
They're essentially saying it's a lubricant for an orgy.
I guess. I don't know what you need 1,000. One bottle of baby oil goes a long way. I don't know what you need 1,000 for.
Sir. He said 7 bottles of baby oil. 5 bottles of Astroglide and some vegetable soup from the high-end grocery store Edouin. Combs wanted the order fulfilled, so I don't have to call anybody about it later. He said the voicemail. Now, I don't know if anybody knows how Apple TV works, right? I just don't know, Now, of course, they do have, the Apple TV system, right? Where here it is here. You know what I mean? You have the box. Right here, you have the box of the remote control, right? But give me a moment though, y'all, because I just want to make sure of something, because I could be completely wrong. I really, really could be completely wrong in my thinking here. But I just want to see something real quick. Oh my Lord Jesus. What's this? What's that? That's a sign in button. Oh my Lord Jesus, you can literally sign in and watch Apple TV anywhere in the fucking world. Wow, what a shock. Find Apple TV Plus on the TV app, available on your Apple devices, smart TVs, web, and more. Apple TV 4K, Samsung Smart TV, LG Smart TV, Vizio, Sony, Xfinity, Roku streaming devices, Fire TV, Google TV, PlayStation, Xbox. You can watch on your iPhone, your iPad, back in Windows, Apple Vision Pro, AirPlay, Android, and the fucking web. You dumb fuck. Okay. I'm only going off because this much stupidity should not be allowed to be disseminated. But here we fucking. Hey, can somebody get my Apple TV system? Because I'm too lazy as fuck to do some fucking research. But Sir Braylon, I don't give a fuck what Braylon said. His fucking ass on a damn couch. Sir, I don't give a fuck what it is. He sent from wherever the fuck he is, thinking that he know every fucking damn thing. His ass should be on trial. Sir, Braylon didn't do anything. We'll find some shit. Well, last time I checked, I mean, he's a very decent, well, respectable man. I mean, he's a flawed individual like anybody else. But, sir, he's not on the stand in New York. He's not the one that's having an ex-girlfriend saying that he's a fucking piece of shit that, you know, really should be handled disrespectfully. And quite frankly, sir, I mean, so you talking back? You talking back, motherfucker? I will end you, motherfucker. Listen, I don't know where you are. Sir, you hired me. You just called me to get your Apple TV system. Moving on. Oh my God. Okay. Oh my Lord Jesus. Oh, wait a minute. The call's not done. Hang on. Oh, and by the way, tell Braylon that just because he can do math don't mean shit. Well, sir, your records got pulled up, and guess what? You allegedly used your accounts to get away with racketeering Rico. So, because Braylon pulled up the total amount of views of that content creator that's bigger than the other content creator that said that person is a content creator, but really they can't do damn shit, fuck, or whatever the hell, because they caused themselves to be terminated off of their own fucking device, just like you are, sir. You know what? Oh, shit. Now the call was done. Anyway, Combs left voicemail for chief of staff about run out baby roll. Oh, my Lord. In November 2021, voicemail played for jurors. Combs is heard telling chief of staff that he's out baby oil. In the urgent voicemail, Combs told Top Lieutenant Christina Corkman, I can't believe I'm out of the lubricant he frequently used during his freak-offs. Corkman assured her boss that fresh delivery would be left outside his door shortly. Child. Listen, not you door dashing baby oil. Not you Uber eating baby oil. Not you go puffing baby oil. Oh, Lord Jesus. Combs chief of staff scolded him for leaving a party with someone in an Uber. Ooh. So your chief of staff knew shit. Racketeering and Rico using parts of your business to get away with shit. Oh my Lord, let's look at this. In one text exchange, Combs chief of staff, Christina Corkman, asked Combs to call her and told him next time you leave, when you're randomly partying, you have to tell us. She said you can't take Ubers with a guest because that's when bad shit happens. She added, I didn't want you to get hit with this. It's not cool. If something happens, it would not be good. So basically, Christina Corkman, the chief of staff for Shonda Combs, knew he did dumb shit, still covered it up, and she was the chief of staff for his company. Would that mean that Christina Corkman was an employee of Shonda Combs? And would that mean that there's racketeering and RICO charge? I do believe so. I do believe so. I do believe so. IV therapy was included in Freak Off. Combs and then girlfriend Jane took IV supplements as part of at least one Freak Off session, according to a group text chain. In a September 2023 chat that included the couple and members of the Combs team, assistant named Ashley reminded everyone to make sure that sodium chloride, vitamin B12, B complex, zinc, calcium, amino acids, total, magnesium, and Benadryl were ready for their IV use. So I'm sure y'all didn't take all that at one time. Now, Benadryl, that'll knock you out. So, what? Child, this don't make no damn sense at all. You know, in the words of Aladdin, this is a whole new world nobody wanted to ever see. Combs complained escort couldn't even perform. And another exchange text messages. Bridget messaged Combs saying there was a mistake with the cash payment. The company was owed $600. Combs replied, "LOL, he couldn't even perform." Did you take Viagra, you dumb fuck? I think you did take Viagra. So you're making fun of an escort off of his sexual performance when allegedly Jane said that you were a cuck. That you were a cuck, sir. That you really dabble on cream sticks, but you couldn't really do it in public. Or be with somebody that has a cream stick in public because of your reputation. What the fuck wrong with you? Bridget responded that the agency pays for time and companionship, and that cost is the same for clients like Combs, where you're skydiving or dancing, you pay for his time. Combs asked her to talk nice to me. Again, reiterate, he's a long-time customer. She apologized and said, not trying to be smart with you. He said, it's all good, all love. It's the fact of you making fun of somebody else for not being able to perform when you're the one who did all this shit. And you had to take Viagra. And you want honey in your room because that apparently gets your, energy up. Apparently, you need baby oil because you couldn't get no fucking woman wet. What went on? What the fuck? Combs asked male escort agency not to raise rates since he was a regular customer. Text show. That's hilarious. Combs was such a frequent user of a male escort agency that the music mogul argued that he deserved cut rates according to text messages with the provider. In a chat with a Cowboys for Angel representative named Bridget on September 26, 2023, Combs wrote, "Stop raising my rate. I'm a long timer." You mean I'm a long time customer? So wait, did you and R. Kelly go to school together? Because he can't read or write. We obviously see you can't write, but can you read as well? Or you can't read either? I'm so flabbermagoped again. I'm just like, sincerely, maybe, just maybe for R. Kelly and Diddy, maybe time is slipping away from me. Yeah. The agent said it wasn't up to the company, but to the worker himself, Cody, who told Combs the best guys have high rates, obviously. Bridget added that she was contractually obligated to the rates on the website. Combs said it was okay and asked Cody to come to the 47 International Hotel in Tower for a 1 a.m. rendezvous. So after you complain about not getting rates, you still asked him to come over. God. Lord Jesus, Jane did not want to be locked in a room to fulfill Combs' fantasies. Combs' former girlfriend, identified in court as Jane, lashed out at the music mogul in September 2023 text messages, refusing to meet him in New York City. She texted him, "It's clear that you just want me there for a hotel binge. You got plenty of other women or sex workers for that." She added, "I don't want to be used and locked in a room to fulfill your fantasies." Whew, Lord Jesus. And the defense is sure they don't want to bring up no witnesses at all. Okay, Jay. Combs appears to be reading something in his lap as sex between Jane and Combs were discussed in court. Combs hung his head for several minutes. Combs, dressed in a white sweater and glasses today, appeared to be reading something in his lap. What the fuck are you reading? Bruh. I mean, have you locked it in your head that's like, okay, well, my life is fucked. He raped me. He dragged my hair. I mean, wasn't it crazy that, honestly, I told y'all about the $10,000 a month and he literally still paying my bills? What the bruh. Sex worker travel records linked to Combs' Amex. So Amex means American Express, by the way, everybody. Jurors were shown flight and hotel records for Gabriel, a sex worker mentioned frequently in this trial, who travels appeared to be paid for by Combs. Prosecutors showed that Gabriel stayed at the 47 International Hotel Tower in New York in September 2023 after arriving on an Atlanta to Newark flight, Newark, New Jersey, all on Combs' American Express card. While this could be one of the more tame, non-explicit pieces of evidence in this trial, it could be crucial for prosecutors seeking to pay Combs as the alleged head of a criminal enterprise. And like we said, that ABC News clip, that payment was under multiple accounts ran by Bad Boy Records. 50 explicit video files made just before Christmas of 2021. Federal agents discovered 50 explicit video files in Combs' prosecution that were created from December 17th to the 21st, 2021, rather. Y'all, sorry. Witness said the jury was shown 2 of these video files. Combs looked around the room as the videos played in court rather than at the monitor, showing the explicit footage in front of him, rather. At the same time, defense attorney Nicole Westmoreland and Combs' mother Janice focused on the jury's reactions to the graphic videos. Why are y'all focused on the jury's reaction to the videos when you know Janice, good to fuck damn well that is your son? And the defense attorney, why are you looking surprised like this wasn't entered into court? But y'all ain't bringing up no witnesses to defend Diddy. So, what the fuck did he spend money on y'all for? He just spent money on y'all to question the prosecution but not have a defense for him? Oh, my Lord Jesus. Okay. Jurors are shown more explicit videos. Jurors wore headsets to focus on screens to watch what appeared to be freak-out videos involving Combs from a girlfriend, Jane. Gabriel, a sex worker who was among the regular partners of the rendezvous, is expected to be in these sets of video. Combs never sent text saying that he had Plan B in his nightstand. Joseph Cerciello, a special agent with Homeland Security Investigations, is back on the stand and was asked about text messages Combs sent. In one text, Combs' chief of staff, Christina Corkman, planned his stay in a Las Vegas hotel where it appeared he was planning a hotel night. She texted him she had a room at the Waldorf Astoria in Las Vegas. Put Plan B in his nightstand and said a jeweler selling Van Cleef can meet him in New York. So you have Plan B, which Plan B is used for making sure that you can have birth control, right? But AB is illegal because we have white men who said to women that you have no autonomy. I just hope all those white men who are Republican, that your daughters and granddaughters and your nieces and your aunties and and everybody don't go on TikTok to say, my grandfather or my father or my uncle don't give a fuck about my body. Because that's how big TikTok is. All they gotta do is just do that. Or do it live. And your career is fucked up the ass with no lube. Suffering. With no remedy for you to make it. Government expects to arrest tomorrow. Assistant U.S. Attorney Maureen Comey told the court that Joseph Cerciello, Special Agent of Homeland Security Investigations, is expected to testify all day. That means the government will rest this case in chief until tomorrow, setting closing arguments as early as Thursday. Court is now in session. Marking day 28 of the Combs trial. That's not love text shown in court. On Friday, federal prosecutors walked jurors through text messages from Combs' former girlfriend Cassie Ventura, or Cassandra Ventura, to the music mogul. One text sent May 2nd, 2017. Ventura said she didn't deserve to be beaten by him. That's not love, that's possession. Ventura wrote, apparently referencing to the 2016 hotel assault recorded on video. The defense also entered a March 18th, 2017 text message from Ventura into evidence. I love our freak-offs when we both won it. She wrote in reference to freak-offs. The defense has tried to show some element of real consent in Combs and his girlfriend's sexual encounters. Combs' former assistant testified Friday. Brendan Paul, Combs' former personal assistant, testified during his employment he was instructed to buy thousands of dollars worth of various drugs for Combs' use. Paul told jurors he once went without sleep for 3 days and was once asked about thousands of dollars worth of drugs. He said Combs to take no for an answer and compared his staff assistants to U.S. military SEAL Team 6. Prosecution expects to arrest this case today. New York federal prosecutors are expected to arrest their case against Combs today. Combs' defense team has signaled it will need around 2 days to present its case. If the timeline holds, closing arguments could take place on Thursday. And that's everything you need to know from the 28th day of the Diddy trial. Child's a lot that went down today. Listen. Let's keep it going with some dynamic video here.
Fully immersive sleep system. Intelligent, adaptive, effortless. It doesn't replace your bed. It
The prosecution in the Sean Diddy Combs trial is wrapping up their case with more freak-off videos. Prosecutors are showing the jury those videos along with travel records, hotel invoices, and money transfers. They're trying to show the sexual acts in the videos are the result of a coordinated criminal activity by Combs and multiple people who work for him. Combs has pleaded not guilty to all charges. ABC's Rena Roy and legal contributor Shauna Lloyd are outside that courthouse in New York with the latest. So, Rena, what's happening with these videos and these various documents the prosecution's trying to show now?
Yeah, well, Diane, I can tell you that the jury seems a bit tired. They seem a bit tuned out today. As you pointed out, they are seeing this mountain of evidence from this Homeland Security agent who is back on the stand today. So far, they have seen hotel and travel records. They've seen money transfers. They are now seeing text messages as well between Combs and his ex-girlfriend, known as Jane, as well as his former chief of staff, Christina Coram, whose name has come up, as we know at this point, multiple times in this trial. Now, as you said, they have also really been focused on showing the jury today videos of those drug-fueled sex performances. At one point, they watched more than 40 minutes of that footage, and they seemed checked out during that as well, pretty serious and pretty stoic. Now, federal prosecutors pointed out that they have identified more than 40 sexual performances that took place from 2021 to 2024 with Combs and male escorts and his ex-girlfriends, including Jane. They were known as freak-offs, hotel nights, or wild king nights. And there was one including just weeks before Combs's arrest there. So federal prosecutors...
Wait, what? Say that again, Rena Roy?
His arrest there. So federal prosecutors are trying to use this evidence to, and there was one including just weeks before Combs's arrest there. So king nights, and there was one including just weeks before Combs's arrest there.
So you mean to tell me that weeks leading up to your arrest, you were still doing this shit? So to all the free D people, did y'all know about that? Let's roll on.
So federal prosecutors are trying to use this evidence to prove to the jury that Combs used the help of his associates to traffic Jane. Diane.
Shauna, the prosecution's expected to arrest tomorrow. Do you think they've done enough up until this point to prove the sex trafficking and racketeering charges?
Diane, I don't think they've done enough to prove it without a reasonable doubt. I think that there are a number of areas within the RICO charge showing that conspiracy with the others. I think also the idea that the willingness on the part of Jane is also within question. So there are definitely some elements that leave room for reasonable doubt.
Shauna, the defense says it won't call any witnesses. Do you think that means that they see the government case as weak, or that they're not confident in the witnesses they were planning to call?
Well, remember, Diane, that it is the federal prosecution's burden. They must prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. So you, as a defense member, when you feel as though they have not done that, you are better off allowing very minimal witnesses and culling back your witness list to ensure that you don't add anything to the case that you don't want there. So I think that they feel as though there's enough room for reasonable doubt. Therefore, there's no need to put on a significant amount of witnesses.
Rena, what are you watching for next?
Well, Diane, the prosecution is expected to rest as early as tomorrow, as soon as this Homeland Security agent is off the stand. From there, because as we know, the defense is not calling any witnesses, but they will be admitting some evidence into the record. We don't know exactly how long that will take, but we are expecting closing arguments to potentially begin as early as Thursday. From there, the jury will get instructions and start deliberations, Diane.
All right, Rena Roy, Shauna Lloyd, thank you both. And for more on the Combs trial, catch the ABC News Live show Burden of Proof, the case against Diddy, every night at 5:30 p.m. Eastern.
So Elon Musk...
So Rena, Shauna, and Diana, thank you so much for that. Ladies and gentlemen, here is more from NBC News right here.
U.S. prosecutors, they are on
about the jurors being shown explicit text and videos as the day trial.
U.S. prosecutors, they are on track to rest their case tomorrow in the Sean Combs federal sex trafficking trial. A Homeland Security investigations agent who testified on Friday is back on the stand today. He's expected to take questions all day, setting up the possibility for closing arguments later this week. NBC News entertainment reporter Chloe Malas is outside the courthouse at her post. Chloe, the special agent testifying today did not actually take part in the investigation. So why did prosecutors call him to the stand?
We are going through pages and pages of text messages between Sean Combs and Jane, Sean Combs and a travel agent, Combs and also his former chief of staff, Christina Coram. And what you're seeing is the government is trying to hammer home the point that Combs engaged in transportation to engage in prostitution, which he faces 2 counts of that. You're seeing flight records. You're seeing Combs knowingly share whole itineraries to Jane, who then shares them with an escort. I mean, he is the intermediary between the travel agent booking flights for an escort by the name of Cabral, even interfacing with the escort company Cowboys for Angels that we've heard so much about. So this idea that Combs, either didn't know where these individuals were flying from or coming from, and he would just show up at these hotel nights and not really have been in the weeds of it all, it does show that he was, and that he did have knowledge of these escorts having the funds being taken out of, his bank accounts. He was paying for them. These were his credit cards. So this is very important for the government to prove for those 2 counts where he faces a maximum of 10 years on each count.
Yeah, this really speaks to the government's case on the trafficking charges. Chloe, we're now in day 28 of this trial. Walk us through what the rest of the week looks like and the potential that we could see this trial wrap up and head to deliberations by Friday.
We certainly could. You are exactly right. So we're going to see this special agent get back on the stand in the morning, and then we're going to have Combs's legal team begin their defense.
So I'm pausing it here. So racketeering, conspiracy, the max sentence, life in prison if he gets that. Sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, max sentence, life in prison, mandatory minimum sentence of 15 years in prison. Transportation to engage in prostitution, legal sentence, 10 years in prison.
As early as tomorrow afternoon, and then
max sentence. Let me go back. Max sentence, 10 years in prison.
As early as tomorrow afternoon, and then they have said that they plan to wrap things up, if all goes according to plan, by the end of the day on Wednesday. That means Thursday we would see summations, also known as closing arguments. We're going to see both sides wrap up what they want the jury to know, and then Friday we could see the jury begin deliberating. But again, there is a lot to go through. 5 very detailed charges, especially when it comes to the RICO conspiracy, and it would be shocking if this jury delivered a same-day verdict on Friday. So we could see it go into next week. But yes, the big question is, will they wrap up before the 4th of July?
All right, Chloe Malas live in Manhattan for us. Chloe, thank you.
We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.
Thank you so much, Tom Yamas, there for that. Now, this clip right here apparently is a part of a phone call. So here we go.
Which is entering its final stretch. The prosecution intends to rest its case tomorrow. Defense attorneys confirmed today that Combs will not take the witness stand, and they plan to rest without calling any other witnesses.
In the meantime, a special agent for Homeland Security Investigations was back on the stand today. Eyewitness News reporter Darla Miles in Lower Manhattan with the very latest in this case. Darla.
Well, David and Liz, after 27 days of testimony and 34 witnesses, the prosecution is expected to rest its case tomorrow. But at the heart of this case, the sex trafficking portion, are those freak-offs, the hotel nights caught on videotape, hundreds of videotapes, apparently, according to federal prosecutors. And after 7 weeks of testimony, that is what the final piece of evidence is that jurors will be listening to. And it almost seems like they're desensitized as they look stoically at those tapes today.
What might seem to be a boring, uneventful day of testimony could end up being the most compelling in the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking and racketeering trial. Monday morning, Combs, attorneys for both sides, and jurors all wearing headphones, viewing excerpts of hotel night videos with Jane, while the rest of the courtroom sat silently for nearly 45 minutes. Special Agent Joseph Cerciello returning to the stand, verifying financial and digital records admitted as evidence, also reviewing multiple hours of videotapes. Prosecutors asking, did you review the videos in this chart? Cerciello answering yes. Generally, what do these videos show? Cerciello answering, they are sexually explicit. Prosecutors then asking, who were you able to recognize in the video? Cerciello answering, I was able to recognize an individual by the name of Cabral, going on to add, Sean Combs. Federal prosecutors rounding out their 7-week-long case with testimony related to the charge of transportation for purposes of prostitution, outlining how Combs could spend anywhere between $900.
So these are all the people he paid for. So $5,000 for Sly, $3,000 for Paul, $3,000 for Arthur, $3,500 for Anton, $900 for Cabal, and then $1,100 for Cowboys for Angels. You know, I wonder if they got, like, you know how like there's like a monthly and yearly fee. I wonder if he got the yearly fee.
To $5,000 on male escorts alone. Jurors also hearing a recording of Combs booking an escort with an agency saying, I'll send info and stop raising my rates. I'm a long timer. Defense attorneys beginning their cross-examination late Monday afternoon, directing attention to some financial records never reviewed by Special Agent Cielo when Combs used his personal bank account to pay for some expenses. Defense attorneys also reading text messages Jane sent to escorts on her own. One reading, I'm free tomorrow. I can fly you out tomorrow, or I can fly you out tonight. The escort named Cabral responding, yes, I am, baby. I'm definitely down. Would love to see you. And another text message exchange reads in part, want to come to Miami tomorrow? I have a small freedom window. Cabral answering, I would really love to see you, but I have a chef gig. Jane then responding, come after your chef gig.
Now, closing arguments are expected to take place on Thursday. However, on Wednesday, the day before, prosecutors and defense attorneys are going to come together for a charge conference. They have to decide what the charging instructions will be for the jury, and that might take longer than expected. Defense attorneys signaled that today based on the prosecution's number of objections to the charges for the jury. Reporting live in Lower Manhattan, Darla Miles, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Thank you so much for that. And here we have some video from Extra here. Oops, sorry. Here we have some video from Extra and Mona. If you remember this face, she was actually on ABC News for a very long time. So here we go.
The prosecution pulling out all the stops as they make their final push to put Diddy away for life. Shocking images revealed from inside the freak-offs. Hotel rooms in disarray with thousands of dollars worth of damage. Diddy's son Justin arrived in court to watch the government wind down their case against his music mogul dad. Diddy dancing poolside and chilling with a glass of wine on the beaches of Turks and Caicos. These home videos released by the government showing Sean Combs enjoying his life of luxury. They were shown as part of the prosecution's sex trafficking case. Pink cocaine and a shocking amount of high-powered rifles. These never-before-seen pictures were taken by police during the raids of the music star's homes. Police photographed a collection of lingerie.
Damn. Moving on.
200 bottles of baby oil and 900 bottles of lubricant as we see for the first time what some of those freak-offs looked like. Hotel room furniture covered in sheets and towels. In response to the large collection of freak-off supplies, Diddy's defense attorney argued last week his star client likes to buy in bulk like any other American.
Motherfucker, ain't no American got this much Astroglide, bruh. Stop that shit.
Any other American.
They've said on day one to the jury, we have flight records that prove that Sean Combs and his company were transporting these male escorts, were transporting women like Cassie and Jane across state lines for the purpose of sex that they did not want to engage in.
CNN's Elizabeth Wagmeister, who broke the story of the now infamous hotel surveillance video attack, was inside court today.
If the jury believes that these women were coerced into sex and it is not something that they wanted to do, well, then they have the flight records and the hotel records to back it up.
The prosecution's summary witness was on the stand today and read part of a heated text exchange between one of Diddy's alleged sex trafficking victims, Jane and Combs. Jane texted, "I'm not coming to New York. I feel disrespected. You just want me for a hotel binge.
Hey,
I
my
don't wanna
thoughts.
be
Good to
used
see you,
and
my
locked in a
friend.
room to fulfill your fantasies."
It's my
welcome in.
life and I'll kill you.
On Friday, this explosive audio was released by the court of an angry Cassie Ventura reacting to a man threatening to expose her in a freak-off video.
No, I will kill you if you don't show me right now. I will kill you and I will hide you and I will cut you up and put you in the dirt right now.
Even if the jury does think that she sounds aggressive and that she sounds like a violent person, they may remember her testimony. And she said that she was scared to death that these sex tapes would be released and that they could ruin her.
Diddy's team will begin their defense soon with a goal of handing the case to the jury as early as next week. Can you tell me what approach you think they will take?
You know, the defense has to be really careful here because less is usually more. The defense's presentation is going to be very short. They have said that it will take one day, maybe two.
Any indication that Diddy himself will take the stand?
It seems unlikely. So during his testimony, he could control the narrative, but the second it's time for cross-examination, he loses all control. There's just too much risk in that, so I would highly doubt that he is going to be testifying.
There it is from Extra TV. Thank you so much. Shout out to y'all. Absolutely. And now we're going to watch Law and Crime here. He would.
Milner, Law and Crime's in-court reporter, as we are on this break in the Sean Diddy Combs criminal trial. Elizabeth, this is the moment all of our viewers wait. They can't wait to talk to you. You get such love on social media, such love.
Just give it up for the gorgeousness of the sister right here with the smile. Like, let's give it up for that. Just saying.
Love from the YouTubers. They want to hear so much about what's been going on. I'll give you an example, how much love you get. We got a question from Gene Sluter. As a lawyer, Jesse, can Jesse please install Elizabeth Milner as the president of the United States? I do not have that power. I don't think you have to be an expert to know I don't have that power. But clearly, you have the love. Okay, let's get into more substantive questions. This is from Shady Goat. How is Diddy in court today? And were there any suspect looks that he might have given towards the jurors? Because he can't be trusted.
Well, definitely as far as Diddy's demeanor goes today, he was doing kind of what he's usually been doing, jotting notes down, talking to his attorneys, all of that stuff. There are a couple moments, especially when the sexually explicit videos were played specifically to the jury. Obviously, we weren't able to see those. They were under seal. And so I was seeing him kind of peek over at their direction because they played those explicit videos for a long amount of time. I think longer than whenever the summary witness was talking about the Cassie summary exhibit.
By the way, for those of you who
I was playing for that.
Oh, hang on.
Then whenever the summary witness was talking.
By the way, if you are wondering what is this right here, this is an IFB. Let me see about okay. So whenever you see your local reporter have this in their ear, this is an IFB that allows them to hear from the control room of, okay, Elizabeth, you have like 2 minutes before you get on air. So during that time, she can go to the restroom, do this, that, the third. All right. Hey, listen, 30 seconds. So when you're watching Good Morning America today, CBS Mornings, Fake and Friends, I'm sorry, Fox and Friends, slip of the tongue, Freudian slip. Ugh, it's been a long day. Basically, even Ryan Seacrest on American Idol, when you see him say, we'll be back after this, you're seeing him say that, but the control room is telling him, all right, go to break, go, break, go, break, go, break, go, break. All right, Ryan, we come back. We got this, that, the third. Welcome back to American Idol, everybody, live from Hollywood. So that's what IFB is, as it is for broadcasting. So just want to give you that. Okay, back to the video.
Talking about the Cassie summary exhibits, was playing for that amount of time. But for these specific videos, I did see him kind of peeking over here and there, especially because of the duration and how long.
Hang on a second. My thought says, this is why I take a suitcase full of lids, towels, and cleaning supplies. I cannot be too careful. After hearing this, I will always pay for that extra luggage. You know what? Let's add some humor to this. I know it's not easy to add humor to this, y'all. But I do have a person that, you know, they want to say something. They want to say something about luggage. Okay, they would like to say something real quick here. Okay, now we're gonna go live to Detroit. Okay, we're gonna go live to Detroit for this. Okay. We're going to go live to Ben Carson real quick. Okay. Ben Carson, good sir, what do you have to say about what's going on with what my thoughts said about, you know, paying extra badge for luggage? What do you have to say?
You've got Dr. Ben Carson. All right, let's talk. What's happening there?
Hey, Frederica, we're here with Dr. Ben Carson right in front of his childhood home, actually. Dr. Carson, this is where you grew up and you decided to bring Donald Trump here. He's just about to leave. What was it like bringing him here?
Well, you know, this was our dream home. And, you know, we had to leave here for several years. It was always our dream to get back here. And I just wanted him to see a little bit about, you know, what it was like, what the neighborhood was like. And we also went through some of the more blighted areas of Detroit, which when I was growing up, a very prosperous city. It was once the most prosperous city in America and has unfortunately undergone some pretty awful things. And I think maybe there are things that we can learn as a society, because in order for our country to be great again, every aspect has to be great, including our inner cities.
And we just saw Mr. Trump here. I asked him, how did it go? And he said, great. And he said he learned a lot of things. What do you think he took away from today?
My luggage. Hold on.
Okay. Looks like Dr. Carson is going to try and find his luggage, and he'll be right back with us. But this is where we are right here. We're right in front of the home of Dr. Ben Carson.
He had to go get his luggage. My thoughts. He had to get his. What did you want me to do? What, that was a live shot. Okay, that was okay. Listen. Let me scroll. Okay, that live shot was 8 years ago. Okay, so I didn't go actual, factual, live from Detroit. Good Lord Jesus. There are people lying, cutting, screwing on YouTube and everywhere else, but I can't do a fake live shot about luggage. Let's get back to this damn video. I cannot with y'all. Yes, indeed. Here we go.
They were playing. Plus, it was super quiet inside that courtroom when they were playing those videos. Literally, you could hear a pin drop. It was just that quiet. But again, these are only shown to the jury. But as far as what I could see of Diddy's demeanor today, still the same old. It doesn't seem that he feels maybe nervous or anxious. But again, we're never inside his mind, so we don't know 100% for sure what he's thinking at all times.
That was a good break.
We got
Old Hollywood Angel says, can you tell Elizabeth we call her Queen Elizabeth? So again, you're getting a ton of praise from all of our fans. Elizabeth, I got a question for you. I'm reading the transcripts of these voice messages from Sean Combs, whether it's to Jane, whether it's to associates. How impactful are these voice messages? It seems to me, if the government is trying to say he played a central role in setting up these wild king nights and transporting people and paying for their services, to have him on these voice notes feels like a mic drop in the moment, no?
It was a little bit kind of, I think the government was doing what they could do with these voice messages. It wasn't necessarily like a mic drop moment, but it also could be, depending on how you look at it. So when you're hearing Diddy on these audio messages asking for $5,000, $10,000, making sure that Jane has $15,000, it's a lot of money that's just being casually talked about during these audio messages. And even when you kind of hear his demeanor on these audio notes, because, you know, obviously we who have been covering this case, we know what Diddy sounds like. We know his voice. We hear him inside the courtroom sometimes when the jury is not present. However, for most jurors, I would expect that most of them don't really recognize his voice. Maybe I would expect that maybe they don't match it to the person sometimes, especially because as you're hearing it, he's asking for large sums of money. He's asking for medication.
Hang on. Let me go back. Sorry, y'all. We were at right here. I was trying to pause it right here for this.
These particular.
Why are your eyes that bulging, sir? Why are your eyes that bulging, sir? Sir. How was the courtroom sketch artist was able to get your eyes this big? How? How, Sway?
Especially because as you're hearing it, he's asking for large sums of money. He's asking for medication. He's asking to make sure that he has as much baby oil as he can, because he was like, why am I out here searching for baby oil? Just make sure I have this baby oil here. I shouldn't be doing this. But he was saying it in kind of a joking manner too, that you really can't tell if he was being kind of serious or if he was being playful and joking. You never just know what they're thinking. But as far as just what the government was doing by playing these particular voice messages, of course, you're hearing about the money being exchanged. You're hearing about, or I shouldn't say exchange, but about the money being obtained or given to Diddy in some form or fashion. You hear about him asking Christina Quorum, for example, to make sure that the assistant set up the rooms before he gets there. Or you're hearing in just different messages, just things that he would say to Christina Quorum about, get me this, get me that, I need this, please and thank you, here and there. So it could be a bombshell moment depending on how you look at it, but it's interesting just kind of hearing these all play out. Now, there were a good portion of the audio messages that we didn't hear. I think there were some technical issues. Some of the audio messages weren't necessarily redacted, so we didn't hear everything in its full capacity. Right. But as far as what we did hear, I think it did kind of have a sticking point possibly for the jury.
You have to explain to us what's going on after the prosecution rests. So we get this question from Lisa 5472. Elizabeth, has the defense given any clues on what they're doing after the prosecution rests? Because are they planning to call witnesses or no? Are they just planning to play some exhibits? What's going on? I think we learned a little bit more about this at the beginning of the day, right?
Yeah, it seemed like there was a lot of confusion on whether or not the defense just plans on admitting a bunch of stuff into evidence, or are they going to be calling a witness to kind of explain a lot of things. You know, initially the defense was like, okay, we're going to call Vashta Dunlap, we're going to call Dr. Bardet, we're going to call another witness to testify. But it seems like there's kind of confusion on whether or not all of these people are actually going to be called, because if everyone remembers, just last week, the government said that, or excuse me, the defense said that their case in chief would be less than they were expecting. They plan, and this is still the plan, for summations or closing arguments to happen this Thursday. So it's possible that they may still call maybe one witness, maybe possibly two. But as far as maybe just a long witness that they may see for the defense's case in chief, it doesn't seem like that's necessarily happening. So we're still going under the impression that maybe a witness or two will be called. But as far as the defense's case overall, it seems like it'll be kind of wrapped up by either tomorrow or by Wednesday at the latest.
And which is why we're saying it seems unlikely at this point, highly unlikely, that Sean Combs is going to testify, because if he did take the stand, that whole schedule gets thrown out the window. Okay, Got a question from Sam. For beautiful Elizabeth, what is your personal thoughts on what the outcome of this trial will be? Guilty or not guilty?
Ooh, that is a great question. I'm a little mixed, right? Like, I think the government really does have a strong case for counts 3 and 5, that being transportation to engage in prostitution. Because as much as we talk about this trial, Jesse, I think there's a lot of people who still are under the assumption that Diddy's only charged with RICO and that he's only charged with sex trafficking. But that's not the case. He has those other charges too, that being transportation to engage in prostitution. And it seems like from the government that they have at least that kind of going in their favor. Now, as far as sex trafficking with Jane, I'm still kind of a little on the fence. It's not up to me, though. It's up to the jury to make those final decisions. With sex trafficking with Cassie, it also still kind of, I'm on the fence a little bit about that too. And it's not my personal feelings. It's more so just the evidence that has been brought forth. And plus, I think a lot of people have to remember Cassie was at the beginning of this trial. We've had a whole bunch of other witnesses. So do people necessarily remember what all Cassie had to say at the beginning of the trial? I'm not necessarily sure. There's been so much other information that we have heard about since that maybe was able to kind of, poke the holes where it was able to poke the holes in. But again, this is just me thinking RICO. I'm still also on the fence about that. So we'll kind of wait and see what the jury has to come back with as far as what their thoughts are about this. But it doesn't matter about what I think. It doesn't matter what any of us think. It's about what those jurors think whenever they go to deliberate on this case.
Now I want to pause this for a minute, because let me tell you something. Whenever you get a question like that as a correspondent, right, or as an anchor, during election time or any big news story, right, it can get very dicey because obviously you are not supposed to be the news, right? But I love how Elizabeth here, Queen Elizabeth, as they call her, so I will refer to her as Queen Elizabeth. She could be, Elizabeth Lee. Miss Lee if you're nasty, but that's neither here nor there. But seriously though, I love how she gave her answer within the containers of the charges, right? So she used the charges to explain her case, because she could have said, no, I don't think he's guilty. I mean, have you not heard this testimony? Now that's someone who's a little bit unrefined and a bit rough around the edges, and they don't have the faculties to handle the camera. But of course, Elizabeth is a professional. She is of ABC News Energy, while other people are of Zeus Energy. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if you let it fly, it must apply. Rolling on.
Why I think closing arguments are so pivotal in this case. The jury instructions so pivotal, trying to tie it all together, how all the elements fall into place, both for the prosecution and the defense. I think of the whole case. I think a lot of this case rests on closing arguments. I really do. Okay, we got a question from Mylan Boardman. Question for Elizabeth. How's the vibe outside of the courtroom as the trial wraps up? Aside from the fact that outside it's like 98 degrees, and I'm surprised you're not melting right now. And this is great reporting. Thank you so much for being outside. But aside from that, what is the vibe outside of the courtroom? Is anybody there, or is the heat detracted people?
Well, the heat, I feel like, possibly is attracting people in the sense it's New York City, it's summertime, the solstice was over the weekend, and people are just outside kind of camping with lawn chairs. And I think it's possible that they're using these lawn chairs to possibly sell their spots in line to whoever is willing to buy it. But that's just me. We never know. But it seems like people are kind of camping out because they expect closings to happen. And then, once the jury gets the case, I think everyone wants to know when the jury will give that verdict down. And so as far as the media attention goes, that hasn't stopped not one bit since this trial began. Of course, it's not body to body like it was at the beginning or the first week, but it's definitely, a row kind of also where I am. It just stretches all the way down the street of just reporters, of media, just all doing their live shots, similar to how I'm doing right now. But even outside, kind of past me right over there, you can see kind of the live streamers, the YouTubers, the podcasters kind of doing their, lunchtime wrap-up stream, kind of similar to how we're doing right now. And then there are just people who are just curious whether or not it's to see the family coming outside for the lunch break, or it's to see the family. And some people think that Diddy sometimes comes out of these doors, even especially towards the end of the day. And I have to tell people, oh no, I'm sorry. He's still incarcerated at MDC, but for the most part, the vibe hasn't changed much. It's still a lot of interest in this case, no matter if it's raining, no matter if it's cool, no matter if it's just hot and scorching hot like it is today.
Somebody asked me over the weekend, oh, I heard Diddy's out. I heard he got released. I was like, what's going on here? Like, but all right, not the case. All right, this is from Miss G Dove. What was the jury's emotions watching those videos? I imagine they're talking about the sexually explicit videos that were shown today.
Hey, I'm Aaron, and I'm going to help you save a ton of money. Running a ticket.
Misty Maris, who we have on as well, I think she said that the jury has watched like 40 hours of videos right now of this sexually explicit content, maybe. What has been their reaction watching this?
Well, from what I could see of the jury when they're watching these videos, I could see that, and let me just preface it by saying this, it's first thing in the morning, it's around 9 o'clock in the morning, and they're seeing these hotel nights of wild debauchery night, wild king night, whatever we want to call them, those types of videos just bright and early in the morning. And so from what I could see of them, they didn't have much of a reaction. I know when they were watching the Cassie sexually explicit videos of the freak off tapes and things like of that sort, that TMZ reported that one of the jurors kind of giggled. But from what I could see of them today, watching the videos that featured Jane and Sean Combs and the other entertainers involved in their hotel nights, that I didn't see much of a reaction, but they were watching those videos for a long amount of time. I think overall, AUSA Maureen Comey said that it was about 50 videos, and maybe, it's hard to kind of guesstimate how long they were watching those videos, and they were into individual clips. They were playing for maybe 2.5 minutes, a minute and a half, or a minute, however much it was, but probably all together, they were watching those videos.
So this is from inside one of the hotel suites.
And I hate to guesstimate, just in case I'm wrong, it felt like they were watching those videos for at least an hour. Now I might be wrong, but it felt that was how long they were watching those videos.
I said hours back then, not 40 hours, 40 minutes worth of material. I think hours would be a lot. Okay. This is a great question from Alana Rodriguez, a question that's coupled with a compliment. Hey, Jesse, can you please tell Elizabeth I said I hope she's doing great? And I think she's beautiful. You're both pretty great. So if closing arguments are Thursday, when will there be a verdict from the jury?
Ooh, that is a good guess. Well, let me just say this, that July 4th is next week. I'm going to guess I'm not going to say if I had to put money on it, because I always lose when I say that, but I'm going to guess that possibly they'll come back on the 2nd. And then there's been discussions that they might also deliberate on the 3rd. Now, originally, if court was going to kind of continue on and we were kind of getting into that time frame, they initially weren't going to have court on July 3rd, but I think it's up to the judge's discretion on whether or not the jury will actually be able to deliberate on that day. So I'm going to guess probably July 2nd or July 3rd. Before the July 4th weekend, I think they'll come back with the verdict, but we'll see.
Okay. We got a question here from, where is it? Okay. This is, I just had a great question. Oh yeah. This is from Janelle Smith. Would the jury have access to these exhibits during deliberation?
Very good.
Yeah, they actually will. And I think that's part of the reason why the summary chart is so important. Yes, these are repetitive messages that we have already seen, but now these messages are all kind of in this concrete way where they can go and look at, GX 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, know that exhibit accompanies this particular flight and this particular booking. They can see the text messages, the videos that accompany.
Just pause it here. Can you imagine what happened under those black lights? No comment, rolling on.
And I think that's kind of the big part of why these summary exhibits and these summary charts are so important. Now, there have been some exhibits that have been just used as a demonstrative exhibit. So that won't be something that the jury will actually be able to take back into the jury room and see all of that stuff. But as far as most of the exhibits, as far as photographs, videos, text messages, flight summaries and catalogs and all of that stuff, the jury has a lot of evidence to really kind of consider. And remember, everybody, this trial has been going on for quite a while, so they'll have a lot of things to consider in terms of just the amount of evidence they saw, going all the way back to Cassie, to Officer Israel Flores, to Kid Cudi, to Mia, to Capricorn Clark, to Jane, just a whole bunch of witnesses. And that's not even including the assistants too, that they'll be able to kind of see all of these things probably in one place, especially with the help of those summary charts from the government.
Elizabeth, I mentioned before, this is a question from Never Be, though. Jesse, it's been rumored that Diddy wants to take the stand and sideswipe the prosecutor by doing it last minute. Have you heard anything? Have you heard any rumors about it, Elizabeth?
I have not heard any rumors about it, but I think that's an interesting question because remember when those documentaries were first coming out, even prior to trial beginning, where Mark Agnifilo said something along the lines of, I can't keep my client off the witness stand whenever it is his time to kind of tell his story. He was kind of saying that at the beginning. Now that we're in trial, I don't know if it'll actually be the same. Nothing is confirmed just yet. Who knows? It could be a last minute decision because the defendant does have that right to testify if he chooses to do so. So we'll wait and see. Nothing's confirmed just yet. Who knows? I might just be running out here one lunch break and be like, Diddy's about to take the stand, but that has not happened yet. And we don't know if that will necessarily happen too, but nothing is confirmed just yet.
All right, Elizabeth Milner, I don't want you spending any more time outside than you have to. So jump back inside. Thank you so much. And I'll see you later for our daily sidebar recap, where we recap everything that's happening during the day's testimony. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Good seeing you.
Thanks, Jesse.
Elizabeth Milner, look for that name. She will definitely be with ABC, NBC, or CBS News for sure. She might do her own platform. Now, she spoke about flights, right? So in case you do not know, Southwest have some new seating choices. Now, I know Southwest Airlines is probably really, is this what we're doing, right? Is this what we're doing? Really? Why? We have to be in the Diddy trial. Now, this is news. We also talked about Spirit Airlines too, okay? So we give equal opportunity to everybody, but listen, we need a bit of a transition. Okay, so listen. Southwest Airlines new seating choices: standard leg cabin seats with 31 inches of pitch located in the back of the cabin. These are but via choice or basic tickets, with passengers on choice able to pre-select seats, and basic tickets having seats assigned at check-in. So for those of you who don't know, the 2 free bags are done. Okay, they're done, so you have to pay for them. Preferred the same standard legroom seat, but these are located toward the wing, offering early boarding and deplaning. These are purchased via a choice preferred ticket, which are fully refundable. And did I mention too, where you used to, just choose your seat? No, they are doing assigned seating. This is a huge thing. Apparently, there's more customers that want assigned seating, but a lot of fans are really not happy with it. So if you're a fan that's not happy with it, you can get the extra legroom ticket, seats that offer extra legroom with an additional 5 inches of pitch. So 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. So you'll get 36 inches of pitch. Depending on the aircraft type, these are located in the front 5 rows of the cabin and at the overwing exits. These seats are purchased via a choice extra ticket, which offers 2 free checked bags, premium snacks, premium drinks and snacks, and free Wi-Fi. So if you still want the 2 free bags, you just gotta pay for extra legroom. Now, we played a clip from Extra earlier in this on this tour. From extratv.com, Diddy trial, Sean Diddy Combs' defense won't call any more witnesses. Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking trial could be winding down pretty soon. On Tuesday, Diddy's lead attorney Mark Agnifilo told the court that the defense is calling more witnesses and said they are planning to submit more exhibits into evidence. It has been previously reported that the defense was planning to call at least 3 witnesses, 2 of Combs' employees and a psychological expert, but it looks like as though there has been a change of strategies. Last week, multiple sources told People Magazine, People.com, that Combs would not testify in his own defense. Judge Aaron Surian will get verbal confirmation from Combs at some point during the trial. Prosecution is also expected to rest this case on Tuesday. After final witness Homeland Security Special Agent Cerciello wraps up his testimony. Prosecutors are pulling out all the stops as they make their final push to put Diddy away for life. Shocking images from inside the alleged freak-offs have been released, showing hotel rooms in disarray with thousands of dollars worth of damage. Last week, Special Agent Larissa Penland testified that Diddy's American Express was charged $46,786 there. $46,786 there for penthouse damage by the Intercontinental New York Times Square Hotel in October 2012. Penland also told the court that Diddy's American Express was also used to pay for a London hotel stay where an alleged freak-off happened between Diddy and his ex-casting Ventura Cassandra and an male escort named Jules. So there it is there, and then here is that video, which I think is the same one.
The prosecution
Yep,
pulling
which we already watched this one right here. But in case you were but I'll put it like this: if you're watching our channel, I saw this. Do keep up with anything and everything else in the culture, right? So for MediaTakeout.com, this was an exclusive from Media Takeout. Like I said, Media Takeout is like a needle in a haystack. Sometimes I get it right, sometimes I get it wrong, but they got it right in this case. Diddy's legal team pulls bold move. No witnesses in the trial of the century. The trial of the century involving music mogul Sean Diddy Combs may be heading for an unexpected and very swift ending. Sources close to Diddy's legal team told me that his attorneys are planning a bold courtroom maneuver. They won't call a single witness in his defense. That's right. No testimony, no surprise character witnesses, no dramatic last-minute cross-examinations, just a clean, confident, "We rest, Your Honor." And while this might sound like legal suicide to the untrained eye, insiders insist this is a strategy behind the silence. Diddy's lawyers believe the prosecution has failed to prove a RICO case, one insider explained. So instead of dragging the trial out or opening Diddy up to unnecessary risk, they'll let the prosecution finish and go straight into closing arguments. Let's break that down. Criminal trials, the burden of proof is on the prosecution. If they can't convince the jury beyond reasonable doubt, then the defense doesn't technically have to say a word. That's not laziness, that's lowering. In the prosecution's case this week, a flash defense could backfire by adding confusion, drawing attention to Diddy's refusal to testify, which is almost a no-go for high-profile defendants. Here's why this move could work. Number one, it signals confidence. Jurors are people, and the defense says that's all you got and sits back. It can come across as a boss move. The jury may assume that Diddy's team sees no obvious threat. Number two, it avoids the Diddy on the stand circus. Let's be real, if Diddy took the stand, it would have been everywhere, but refused to testify, making it that less noticeable by calling no witnesses at all. Keeps the focus on prosecution shortcomings and not on Diddy's every word and facial twitch. Number three, it speeds things up. With no defense witnesses to question the trial, move straight into closing arguments. Less time means less damage for public speculation and fewer opportunities for anything to go off script. But make no mistake, this is risky. If the jury does believe the prosecution made a compelling case, the lack of rebuttal could leave Diddy hanging with no safety net. Meanwhile, there's a darker theory making the rounds in entertainment circles. Some believe Diddy took the case to trial with a 47 card, literally. Rumors are swirling that he's banking on presidential pardon from 487. Should the verdict go sideways, whether that's true or just fan fiction for political gossip blogs remains to be seen. But in this wild 2025 news cycle, never say never. For now, all eyes are on the courtroom. Will this no defense secure Diddy's freedom? Will it go down as one of the most miscalculated moves in modern celebrity legal history? Either way, grab your popcorn. Closing arguments are coming in fast, and the verdict may be closer than we think. So, with that being said, there is one more thing I wanted to bring y'all from the New York Times. Now, of course, the New York Times did not allow me to get it, but of course I went on my mobile, and this is a pro tip if you're a content creator. If you can't get the article from the because it shows that you use your free viewing, just go on mobile, copy the whole article, put it in your Google Docs. That's a pro tip. So here we go. Here, as Sean Combs took a victory lap, he planned sex nights, prosecutors say. Right here. Questioning its final witness, the government laid out flight plans, escort prices, hotel reservations, and a web of payments for sexual encounters in 2023. On the 12th day, it was September 2023 rather, and Sean Combs was on top of the world. On the 12th day of that month, he accepted the Global Icon Award at the MTV Video Music Awards, celebrating his decades of success as a trailblazing record producer and media mogul. 3 days later, he released the Love album Off the Grid, his first solo studio LP in 17 years, and Mayor Eric Adams of New York gave him the key to the city, recognizing Mr. Combs as the embodiment of the New York City attitude. Charming Mayor Eric Adams, well, you had your own scandal, but that's neither here nor there. That month, Mr. Combs was also busy planning sexual encounters involving his girlfriend Jane and hiring male escorts at hotels in New York, Miami Beach, Florida. These encounters, which the government has described as elaborate drug-fueled sex marathons that Mr. Combs coerced two women to participate in, are essential to the prosecution's case. Give me a moment here. Let me see if I can zoom in for you all here. Let me see. Oh, hang on. That's a little too close. A little too close. Too close. Too close. There we go. That Mr. Combs are central to the prosecution's case. He is charged with sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy. The arrangements for these encounters, flight plans, hotel reservations, negotiations over escort rates, and a web of payments were laid out in detail at Mr. Combs' trial on Monday. Maureen Coleman, the lead prosecutor, asked a special agent with Homeland Security Investigations to read from text messages, American Express bills, and other records as the 34th and final witness for the government before it rests its case. Mr. Combs has pled not guilty and denied the accusations against him. His lawyers have argued consistently throughout the civil trial that Mr. Combs' sexual arrangements were all consensual and that no criminal conspiracy exists. On the Sean Combs trial timeline testimony, the events in September 2023 came just before Mr. Combs' life was ended. In November of that year, Cassandra Ventura, Cassie Ventura, the singer Cassie, accused him of rape, sex trafficking, years of physical abuse, and a bombshell lawsuit that was settled the next day. I remember that date specifically because it was myself and Make It Make Sense sister on YouTube. It was Make It Make Sense sister first YouTube live. That receipt's on my community wall in case you want to see that. And prosecutors in New York began the criminal investigation that led to Mr. Combs' arrest in September 2024. According to evidence laid out for jurors, much of which was not visible to the public to protect the privacy of Jane, who testified earlier under a pseudonym, Mr. Combs spent 17 days at that month at one Manhattan hotel while he arranged for an escort to join him and Jane at another. That gathering almost did not happen. The day before she was set to fly from Los Angeles to meet Mr. Combs, Jane sent him a bitter and angry text message. She had just heard Mr. Combs bragging on a podcast about having an extended sex session with another woman. I'm not coming to New York, Jane wrote. I feel disrespected. She had, I don't want to be used and locked in a room to perform and feel your fantasies. Girl, stop. Mr. Combs told her, and they spoke by phone. 15 minutes later, Jane sent a message to Combs, hey, okay, we spoke. I'll be able to travel tomorrow. TMW stands for tomorrow, everybody, and abbreviation speak. Earlier in the trial, Jane testified that she had expected to have a romantic time with Mr. Combs in New York, where they would have dinners, go shopping, and just be together. As the time for the encounter neared, Mr. Combs was busy negotiating with escort service, probably Cowboys for Angels, or Backpage, or Craigslist, or Tris.link, whatever the hell. And I'm sure there are many, many references that Mr. Combs knows and many personal people in his Rolodex that I'm sure he knows. Right here to do as the time for Karen neared, Mr. Combs was busy with escort service over the price of a man he wanted to hire. Stop raising my rates, he told Bridget Collins, a booking agent, Cowboys for Angels. I'm a long timer. You want the best guys, I got the best race. Ms. Collins responded. In New York, Jane was first joined by one man, but it did not go well. He couldn't even perform, even though Mr. Combs had to take Viagra. And apparently he is a cuck, according to Jane, because he may have gay tendencies, which that has been rumored for years. I am not maligning, assassinating, this, that, and third Mr. Combs' character. He's done that his fucking damn self in his trial. Mr. Combs complained to Ms. Collins, so Jane reached out to another man, which she had been with before and had sex with him after they finished. Aides to Combs texted about hiring a nurse to administer intravenous injections to help the participants recover. Oh, by the way, did I mention that Diddy went on the Ellen DeGeneres show and showcased a video of him getting a shot in his ass? Oh, yeah, that happened. Yeah, that happened. He also talked about that, you know, in the 5-second rule game, he talked about him having sex. And he said this on daytime television. Mr. Combs went on the Ellen DeGeneres show many times. There's even a clip about, you know, Sean Diddy comes talking about Ellen and one of his parties. So, yeah. And in addition to that, everybody, when it comes to this here, when it comes to, you know, the cuck word, right? A cuck is basically somebody that they pay somebody to watch them have sex with another man, even though you're in a relationship. So that's why Jane said what she said, because she's like, why do you want me to have so many sexual encounters with men? And she put 1 + 1, which equals 2, and there it is. As prosecutors near the end of their case, they have been laying out the arrangements for encounters like these, underscoring the financial transactions that tie Mr. Combs and his companies to them. Evidence presented to the special jury by Dr Cerciello, the Homeland Security Special Agent, showed that a company controlled by Mr. Combs paid an American Express bill containing charges related to encounters. A hotel business manager who worked for Combs was authorized to wire $5,000 to Jane, and Jane used Venmo to send the escort agent $1,000. By the way, that card is under multiple accounts, controlled by Bad Boy Records. We saw ABC News clip that talked about that right here on Brothers for Detroit Live. A week later, Jane traveled to Miami Beach for another hotel encounter with one of the escorts from New York. Text messages presented to the jury showed that around the same time, Mr. Combs had brought another woman to the same Florida hotel for another session. Under cross-examination, Terry Garagos, the bitch that asked Jane about a bag when she didn't give a fuck about a woman being domestically violated. So there is that. A lawyer for Mr. Combs highlighted text messages where Jane was flirtatious and affectionate with Mr. Combs and with Cabal, an escort who has turned up repeatedly in testimony during the trial, including the encounters in New York and Miami in September 2023. Also Monday, jurors saw a number of sexually explicit video clips involving Jane and other men. Following an order from the judge, the videos were not shown to reporters or the general public, and the juror watched them on screens listening on headphones. The prosecution showed 14 video clips totaling about 18 minutes of footage. The defense selected 7 clips lasting about 8 minutes in full. That includes some excerpts that had not been seen, shown by the government while the prosecution videos played, showing counts from 2021 to 2022. One juror's eyebrow shot up, and we don't know if they shot up like this or if it was the eyebrow raise from the rock. Either way, one of the eyebrows shot up from the juror. Another scowled and took notes. I do declare in this courtroom right here, not right here, but right here, that I am ashamed, I am beside myself, I'm disgusted with this piece of shit bastard's behavior. Now, of course, that did not happen, ladies and gentlemen. You saw the thumbnail. You know my voice is Demi. You know why you're here. So I got to put a little extra sauce, not sauce, but sauce on this tour. Okay. Mr. Combs, one of Mr. Combs' lawyers, Nicole Westmoreland, studied the panel's faces closely. They were largely impassive as the videos played. Mr. Combs leaned to whisper to another one of his lawyers, scanned the jury, and jotted notes by hand. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your tour. Y'all, I'm gonna turn my camera now because we done the whole show for over an hour. Yes, we have. Woo! Job. A lot going on here. Oh, my Lord Jesus. Okay. Thank God I didn't do what I did. A lot going on here, like I said. Sincerely, I truly believe that it's gonna be a guilty verdict sooner rather than later. And I truly think that the aftermath of this is going to be the real start of the documentaries and everything else. I'm sure that the reason why Diddy do it from 50 Cent has not come out yet is because 50 Cent is covering this in every capacity that he can. And I'm sure that is the reason why it has not come out yet. So, with that being said, everybody, that is your show. Let me get the Daily Motivator up here. And yes, indeed, there. All right, here we go. When you come to a fork in the road, take it, Yogi Berra. Yes, indeed, some wise words there. It's time for the Daily Motivator for Monday, June 23rd, 2025. Push forward by purpose. Right here, the more purpose, the more possible. Get clear on the what and why, and you enable the how to come quickly into focus. Purpose ignites passion. Purpose empowers action. It's well worth your time and effort to forge solid, enduring connection to purpose. That connection makes the difference between success and failure, between effectiveness and happiness. What do you truly care about, and why? Consider the specific ways you can express, support, and honor all that drives you. Look closely at the lives of the people you admire because of what they attain. In every one of them, you'll see a strong underlying purpose. Seek intentionally in your own life to be similarly pushed forward by purpose. Connect yourself to the unending energy source that comes from authentic purpose. Ralph Morrison. You know, I talked to a friend of mine today. You know, we talked about the fact that it's so interesting because I remember when I said my 5 statements about, you know, Love and Marriage Huntsville of by the time season 7 comes on TV, it's going to be season 8 on YouTube. There's something coming down the line that ain't nobody knowing about. Social media showing the social media and the show going to clash in a way that we've never seen. That final season poster looked like a final season poster rather, and all will be revealed was not chosen by accident. And I also remember saying that this was going to prove who's a real content creator, who's not a real content creator. When you do anything for attention, all you get is stagnation. But when you do everything for a purpose, you get progression. Oh, that was good, child. That was good. When you do anything, you get stagnation. But when you do something for a purpose, you get progression. When you do anything for attention, you get stagnation. But when you do something for a purpose, you get progression. That's the first thing I'll tell you about being pushed forward by purpose. The second thing I will tell you is, what do you truly care about and why? Consider the specific ways you can express, support, and honor all that drives you. If you can't express, support, and honor having responsibility for how you move, that's going to really reflect in your movement. Like I said, how you think and how you move determines the flow of blessings and curses that come your way in your life. That's the second thing I'll tell you. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, seek intentionally in your own life. Not anyone else's life, but your own life. Not by not by a hell you constructed in fantasy land, but by the reality of which you're contributing. Seek intentionally in your own life to be similarly pushed forward by purpose. The only way that you will ever be able to seek anything in life is if you have a clean head, pure heart, and a founded soul. If you don't have that, you're just a body walking around and your soul is burning. It may not be burning like physically on fire. Every time you wake up, every time you speak, every time you think, every time you being in secret, every time that you try to do the most of the people, child, God made a whole flood to reset the world. Don't you ever think for one fucking damn second that he won't make a flood to wipe your ass out too. With that being said, rather, if it doesn't apply, let it fly, but if you let it fly, it must apply. With that being said, it's time for the best outro on YouTube. Know what you do and do what you know. Never say you weren't born special, because you were always born a blessing, and trust you may not be where you want to be, but by the end of it, you'll be where you need to be. Do what you've been chosen to do. Why? It's one thing to call yourself, it's another thing to be chosen. One love, much love, all love. I have spent time with you. You have spent time with me. And hopefully, by spending time together, we'll also be great together. Always remember what you're doing: radio, television, YouTube, living your best life, or child. Oh, Lord Jesus, you're just recognizing that. Well, listen, maybe having a simplified life maybe allows you to be not guilty and be able to live your best life. Make sure the replay is not just right for you. Watch it, not just right for you. Listen to it. But if you want to experience it again, I love you. I value you. I embrace you all. Always remember to receive love. You got to give it. Receive love. You got to give it. Receive love. You got to give it. Whatever obstacles you've overcome, whatever success you have achieved upon this particular day, I'm extremely proud of you. But no one's probably be proud of your damn self. Finally, y'all, listen. We got to get past the fact of just because you're able to say something doesn't mean other people can't respond, right? And if you are that big, bad, and bold, then be about your shit. Because like I said, progressive kings and queens, that they have things to do, they actually go and tend to them. Stagnant princes and princesses keep bitching and mitching over the same fucking damn thing. Like I said before, I do believe 7,620 subscribers is a lot more than 6,609 subscribers. I do believe that 7,620 subscribers is a lot more than 6,90 subscribers. I do believe 7,620 subscribers is a lot more than 6,690 subscribers. I also do believe that 932,147 total views is more than 173,365 total views. I do believe 932,147 total views is more than 173,365 total views. I do believe that 932,147 total views is way more than 173,365 total views. A grand total, a difference of 930 subscribers, a difference of 758,782 total views, 758,782 total views, 758,782 total views. In the words of Kendrick Lamar, don't tell lies about me, and I won't tell truths about you. With that being said, one love, much love, all love. I feel the love, and I send it right back to you. By the way, if this is your last straw for the evening, good night to you. But for the rest of you, I'll see you back here for Real Housewives of Atlanta. Oh, buddy boy, we got a lot to talk about. One love, much love, all love. Fill love, send it right back to you. Bye, everybody.
I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.